Thanks for joining. Welcome to another edition of Making It Happen. This is Edward Catherine. This is an important health message show. I didn't wish I would have to do this show, but I have to do the show to get the point across. Because this is a special show, but it's also an urgent show. Today I'm honored to welcome, and I'm glad he's still alive to talk about it. Mark from Oblios, right?
Correct. In Oshkosh.
So, are you from Oshkosh, Mark?
No, I'm originally from Racine, Wisconsin. I went to college in Oshkosh. I came up here in 1976 and never left.
Okay. Did you just love the atmosphere, the environment, the people?
I love the city. I love the people. I love the university.
Okay. What did you go to school for?
I had a double major, accounting and economics.
So what made you want to be a bar owner?
Well, when I was in college, it was one of the hangouts that me and my college roommate used to hang out with, and the business opportunity came up, and we thought we'd give it a shot, and we doubled the gentleman's business that we bought it from the first year. So it's been a good investment for 41 years until this pandemic. It's not worth what it used to be, that's for sure. But our business is closed right now because of COVID.
Yeah. Do you agree with the governor's? Order as far as the 25%?
The governor is trying to, slow this down. I think they pin too much on the bars and the restaurants. There's other bigger gathering places too that I wish they would focus on, but everybody's trying to do their best. The governor wants the mask. I believe in the mask. I believe in social distance. Wash your hands, sanitize. I want everybody to be safe. That's what I'm all about. It's safety now going forward. I didn't think I was ever going to get out of the hospital alive. I really didn't. I couldn't breathe. Suffocating, this is one of the worst things you could ever imagine is it's called hypoxia, the inability to get oxygen in and get it into your blood. And it's just a really scary feeling.
Well, let me tell you, I watched all your videos and I cried and I prayed for you, man.
Well, thank you. And I felt the prayers, a lot of love, and there's been a lot of prayers. I'm a blessed person. I've got a lot of great friends that have been behind me this whole way. And I'm just thankful that I'm home. That was the big key for me, is focus on getting back home to my family.
Do you know how you got infected at all?
How I got this? I got a suspicion. It's kind of hard to trace, but I also own a restaurant, and I think I got it from one of my business partners at the restaurant, where his mother-in-law got it and passed it on to her husband and daughter, and that's my buddy's wife. And I believe that's how I got it, and my fiance and son had. It's just, you're trying to contact trace it back, but we don't know for sure. Okay. But I really, I just want to move forward. I don't want to play the blame game in the past.
Yeah. As far as treatment, what kind of treatment did you go through?
The treatment that they gave me in the hospital was I was on oxygen. They gave me steroids. They gave me shots in my stomach so my blood wouldn't clot. They gave me Tylenol for the inflammatory. Okay. COVID's an inflammatory virus, and it attacks everybody different. It can attack your lungs, your heart, your brain, your kidney, your liver. It just inflames everything, and it can do damage. So that's what the protocol they had me on. And then I was up to 5 liters of oxygen, and they said if I would have gone any more up to 7, they would have, they would have wanted me to go on the experimental drugs, but I didn't want that.
Were you in a special room, or were you around other COVID patients, or?
No, everybody's isolated. You have your own room. I was in a negative pressure room. People came in, when they were coming in, they were basically in hazmat suits. It's a very scary thing, and you're there by yourself. So.
Did you ever have those times where you didn't feel like you were gonna make it? And
Yeah, there was a time I didn't think I was gonna. You can't catch your breath, and when you can't catch your breath, it's a very scary thing.
At first, before you got hospitalized, did you think the virus was that serious, or?
Well, yeah, I knew it was serious, but I took it very serious, but it like I said, it affects everybody different. Some people, my son didn't have any symptoms. My fiance had a lot of the symptoms I did, with fever and chills and a cough and aches and pains. And like I said, that's what's the scary thing. This virus mutates, and it's very adaptive.
And it's mutating at a fast pace. It's not slow.
Oh, exactly.
Like I said before the show, I lost a family friend, so I understand. I get it. I have cerebral palsy myself, so that my doctor said I'm not immune compromised, but he's worried if I get it that I might have a longer recovery.
Right. Exactly. And I'm on the road. I'm getting stronger every day. My appetite's getting better every day. I came home late Monday night, so I've been home 5 days now, and I try to stay hydrated. I try to do my breathing exercises. I worry about the long-term effect of this.
Mm-hmm. How do you think it's going to affect your? I know you're closed right now, but how do you think it's going to affect your business?
The business I'm not as worried as much about. I said 41 years. I'm more worried about the health of the public and keeping everybody safe and keeping my customers safe. That's what I'm worried about this. If I was worried about the money, I would have never closed.
Yeah.
So it's not about money at this point. Eventually it's going to affect everybody, but we'll get there. We've got a strong following. I got a great group of friends and customers that are my friends. So.
By the way, how is your son and your fiance doing?
He's good. My son is, like I said, asymptomatic, and she's back to work now at my restaurant. We opened the restaurant back up this last Tuesday, so we were shut down for over a week. So
you said he didn't have any symptoms, right?
No, he had no symptoms, but going forward, what happens if he gets it again? It's scary. That's why everybody's got to wear their masks.
So that would be your number one message: wear your mask, social distance. This is not a hoax.
This is not a hoax.
Because a lot of people think. There's a lot of people out there that don't believe it, that don't social distance and go fancy free and just.
Right, and they think it's just like, a lot of people have called me a drama king who all I got is a really bad cold. Well, if I wish they could see the people in the hospital, and the hospitals are full around here now.
You don't end up in the hospital because you have a really bad cold. You end up in the hospital because it's a serious thing.
Exactly.
So how was your treatment? Was it pretty good in the hospital? Did they treat you pretty well?
Oh, I had the best care possible. They're getting overtaxed too. I had tremendous care. The doctors, the nurses were great. I talked to one woman that she was working her 18th day in a row.
Okay. What do you, and this question wasn't on the sheet, but what do you think they're gonna do when they're almost at capacity now, but what do you think they're gonna do? Or what do you think they should close down the university and use some of that for COVID rooms and stuff?
that's beyond my pay grade. I don't know if I don't know how the cases are at the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh. I I want all the students to be safe. I think they're being responsible for the most part. So
Mm-hmm.
we just got to wait and see, and it's just, I know the chancellor's on this at the university here, and he's trying to do a really good job. And I think for the most part, the university has done a good job.
So when did you get tested? When did you first have symptoms?
2 weeks ago yesterday, I was getting ready for work on a Friday night to go bartend at my bar, and I got out of the shower and I felt I had I felt like a fever was coming on. Then it goes from being hot to getting chills to aches and pains and getting a headache and just not feeling well overall. And then that next morning, figuring that I had symptoms and my fiance Sandy had symptoms, we both went out and got tested.
So what's the testing process like?
It's not bad. I mean, they just come up and do a swab in your nose. But the problem with the testing process, it takes 5 days basically to get your results. We didn't get our results until Wednesday. So, and I was already in the hospital on Tuesday. So we need faster testing results.
So that's something that's still lacking.
Yes.
Because our fearless leader, I don't really call him a leader, but he thinks we do the most tests. We got the best tests in the whole country.
I know. Yeah. Well, Donald Trump's about Donald Trump. They dropped the ball from day one. It's going forward now that we need more testing. We need to get all. We got to slow this down, and to slow it down, you got to wear the mask.
Mm-hmm. So did you ever think in your wildest dreams 2020 that you would see, because the pandemic hasn't happened in 100 years?
Yeah, I know. No, we weren't prepared for this. I don't blame Donald Trump for this virus, but I blame his administration for the response to the virus.
You mean his slowness, like?
Yes.
They knew about it back in January, February.
Correct.
But they didn't do anything about it until March.
Because because supposedly it was magically going to disappear.
Yeah. Or it's magically going to be blown away or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a serious thing, and not everybody gets the same symptoms. Did you
You're
ever
exactly right. It affects everybody different. Did
you ever get shortness of breath?
Oh yeah, I said I couldn't breathe. I could not breathe. That's how most people end up in the hospital. They weren't able to breathe.
Yeah. So let's see here now. I'm just trying to see if I asked all questions. So when you get tested, you said they take a swab of your nose.
Yep.
And some people I hear that they say it feels like they're tickling their brain because they get it way up in there. And
yeah, they shove it up really far.
So, and you said five days, right?
5 days it took to get the results back. We need faster testing.
Do you think we need the more rapid testing like they talk about?
Yes, that's what they need to do, but they got to get accurate testing too. You don't know how many false positives there are too.
Well, not to put anything on our president, but he claims he's been tested every day, but then he doesn't remember, and then it's like he doesn't remember if he got tested or not. But then he does these big gatherings of these people in these crowds, and they don't believe in wearing masks. It's like, yeah, I have a 99% chance of recovery. Who says you're going to recover?
Oh, exactly. There are no guarantees. But he always says, well, I couldn't remember if I had it. But if you ask him, he's got the best memory of anybody he's ever known. So what do you believe?
Not to say that this virus not to say that this virus made you this way, but did you almost feel a little bit delusional in a way? Because they say when you get this virus, I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but they say you get a little bit nuts because you kind of lack oxygen and.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, it's not like you're in a fog or anything, but you can feel it's just a little bit different. So
yeah, that you're not yourself.
Yeah, you're not but you're not 100%,
Mm-hmm.
and I blame that on the virus. You know, I'm not going to sit here and complain. I'm one of the lucky ones that was able to come home and hopefully on the track to recovery. So I just want everybody, I don't want anybody else to go through what I went through. That's why I posted those videos.
And they say it has long-lasting effects on the heart and the lungs. It could be with you for a long time.
Exactly. You're exactly right. So we don't know. There's too many unknown factors.
And did you pray a lot in the hospital? Like, do you believe in God? Did you pray quite a bit?
I pray. I talked to the big guy.
Yeah.
He answered my prayers. I had a lot of people praying for me. A lot.
You know, I think, and I'm a believer. I think God is trying to send us a message here.
Yeah. You might, you know, you could be right. I think it's a test. He could be testing us.
Not to take life for granted. Well, for one, not to take life for granted, and two, things can change in a minute.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
I mean, look back at March when things were going fine, and then all of a sudden, boom! It like changed overnight. You know.
Yep. We've cut down the death rate was a lot higher in the beginning of this, but it's come down quite a bit now.
I think you said in one of your videos, I don't know if I'm quoting you, but you said 200. You said, what would Donald Trump say to 215,000 families? I remember
Right.
that quote that you said. What would he say to 215,000 families? You know?
Yeah. I don't know. You know, you don't know what's going through the president's mind. I worry about him.
Do you think he really got COVID because he claims to be cured all of a sudden?
Well, you know, like I said, it affects everybody different. He's trying to put a positive spin on this. They keep saying that COVID's not a death sentence. Well, I tend to disagree. It can be a death sentence. So, and it's been proven that for 218,000 families have lost loved ones. So,
I mean, how many more are we going to lose before the nation gets the message?
yeah, I know. I agree. We hopefully not a lot, but if people don't wear masks and don't social distance, it's going to get worse.
Why do you think people, and I'm not blaming anybody, but why do you think people are brainwashed and fancy free? It's not going to happen to me.
That's what they want to believe. People believe what they want to believe, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't blame them, but I'm just giving the value of my experience, and I'm telling the truth.
Like my mom went into a bar last night, and she was picking up a fish fry, but none of the people in the bar were wearing a mask, and the bar owner was not wearing a mask. I mean, the person behind the bar. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, I know. It is. It's everybody's got to lead by example, I guess. That's my thing.
Do you think the spread will slow down soon? What's your thoughts on that?
I hope the spread will slow down soon. It depends, but we're getting into colder weather and more people are going to be confined to the indoors. So we'll just have to wait and see. Only time will tell.
And what's your opinion? And this wasn't on the sheet, Mark, but what's your opinion about schools being open and back open and having kids in there? And
My son's being homeschooled right now in Oshkosh. Everybody's being homeschooled, which I
okay.
believe is a good idea right now.
Mhm.
So we'll just, you know, we need the teachers to be safe. We need the students to be safe. And right now Oshkosh is a hot spot. I'm glad that we're not doing in-person schooling right now.
I
So
mean, Oshkosh made the national news last night.
yeah, I know it is a hot spot.
So, what do you think about kids doing athletics like football and the volleyball and?
You know, athletics are important, but
But what's
you
more
want the
important, your
kids.
life or the athletics?
I think there's more. Athletics are important, but there's certain athletics that you can socially distance more than others.
Okay.
So, you know, it's a tough one for me to call. I'm a big sports guy. I believe in sports. I
Mhm.
believe in athletics, but I want you got to do it so it can be safe.
Now, when it comes to like the NFL, the Packers must be doing something right because none of their players have gotten the COVID. You know, it's
Yeah,
been
but
it's been it's been spread around the NFL, but none of the Packers have it. So
yeah, I think the Packers have done a good job. I think for the most part, you know, if you can't be in a bubble, that's a hard thing to do to keep everybody safe.
mhm.
But I think the players get it. They know they're making sacrifices right now, and they just got to keep themselves safe and their teammates safe.
Yeah. So when it comes to when people say I'm not gonna get sick, I don't believe in it. What do you say to them?
I Those aren't the people that I'm trying to change. It's the people that are on the fence. Other certain people, you're not going to change their mind, and and I'm not going to try. But I just want to give everybody the value of my experience,
Mhm.
what I've been through.
So you just want to get the message across that it's a serious virus and it's real. It's not. Well, because there's a lot of people think that this virus is government based. The government is trying to control us and trying to have the population die off.
Yeah, I really don't know anything about that.
So, well, I'm sorry that you had to go through it, and I that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this show is to get the message across. What would be one final message if you had to say a plea to a crowd of people? Let's say if you were speaking in front of people, crowd of people like maybe 10 or 5 people, what would you say?
Well, I want the message, like I said before, my message is please wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, sanitize, do the right thing. And we'll all get through this faster.
Yeah, because some people say it's gonna if this continues. Some people say it could be up to another year before this virus slows down.
And they could be right.
So, but thank you for joining me today, Mark, and
You're welcome.
I wish you the best on recovery,
Thank
and
you.
I wish the best to your fiance and your son as well. Do you know of
Thank
any
you.
Do you know of any of your employees that got? How are they doing?
All my employees are safe. I had two at the restaurant and they quarantined and they are back. So, and other than that, nobody else I know has it. So
And
I think we're doing,
how are things at your restaurant? Are they distance or are the tables spaced out? And
yes, yep, we're following all the guidelines.
so if they want to, if customers still want to come and eat,
Yep. Otherwise, if they don't feel safe, they can always get food to go. We deliver it right to their car, right out in front.
and is your restaurant an Oshkosh too?
Yes, it is. Yep.
What's the name of your restaurant?
It's called Primo.
Oh, you own Primo's then, okay.
Yep.
And how long have you been owner of Primo's?
13 years.
Well, like I said again, thanks for joining me, Mark. And
All right. Thanks for having me, and you be safe and wear your mask.
no problem.
All right. You take care.
Bye.